So Outriders just got arguably its best update since launch. Not just that, it also came in with one of the best buffs to legendary loot drops, to the luck stat, to make, you know, getting your preferred legendaries way easier. Like if you've been missing maybe one of those Yugaki cowls, or maybe some of those goggles of time, or maybe a death shield, yeah, you're probably gonna have a way higher chance in the new update to get it than ever before. So I want to talk about that, and also if it is finally worth it to come back to the game and maybe give it a second chance. By the way, there's still time for you to take part in our June giveaway. There's about 6 days left for you to take part in it, and you can follow up the links down below and choose whatever game you want to from the list of games over there. Maybe Outriders, but it can also be one of the newer games. And yeah, I'm going to announce the winner right here on this channel, as well as via the email address provided, and I will also give a huge shout out to Instant Gaming for making this giveaway possible. Starting things off, let's go over some of the big changes in yesterday's update, because this kind of removes about like 70% of the biggest complaints that people had, especially with the loot and like the gear progression in Outriders. So first of all, they have literally doubled legendary drop rates all across the board. So all of these have been increased by 100%. This means that whatever chances you got previously to get a legendary, now it is pretty much doubled. The second thing that is even better is the fact that they have removed legendary level brackets. So previously there were some items of legendary quality in the game that you could simply not get below a certain level, and now we know that that level is 48. To give you an example, the reason you didn't get that Yugaki cowl or some of those goggles of time is because it would only drop from level 48 enemies or higher, but that restriction has been removed in the new update, and now you can possibly even get it at a lower level, but of course at a lower chance compared to something like CT15, for example. Another couple of changes that also complete this entire system is the change to the luck system. So previously you could go into a ton of expeditions, even CT15s, and have a pretty bad streak of luck, like have at least a few runs without a single legendary item dropping. Well, that has also been changed in the new update, and now it is possible to get legendaries pretty much every run, at the very least from what I've been testing. And not just that, between all of these changes you're getting not just one legendary, you can get like 2-3 most of the time, which is a really welcome change. But the final piece that makes the new system complete and pretty much what it is right now, which honestly is no short of amazing, is the fact that they have also introduced a legendary anti-duplication system, though there is a small little caveat to it. So first of all, what you need to know is that when you first roll onto an item, the system detects if it is a duplicate or not, and if it is a duplicate, if it detects that, it is going to re-roll to another item. The second item can still be a duplicate, but it can also have an additional chance to not be. What this means is essentially you kinda have almost double the chance to get an item that is not duplicate. Now I'm not sure exactly what the calculations are, somebody did it over on Reddit, and from my knowledge, from about 1% that it was previously, now with all of these changes you get about a 5% chance to not get a duplicate, and this is on top of the fact that you get legendaries left and right. So there's a pretty good chance that you're getting something that you will need and that you are missing, and yeah, this is for example my case with that item that I got previously. But with that in mind, let's talk about some of the undocumented changes and some of the best legendary farming methods in the new update. And of course, now running CT15 and pushing to CT15 is easier than ever, not just only because of the new update, but because of the previous ones. It is now pretty much impossible to get one-shotted like it was previously. I've been playing offline and online, single player and multiplayer, and I never got even close to being one-shotted in the past 24 hours, and I've been farming like crazy, and I'm looking around and almost nobody is getting one-shotted anymore. So those changes that they have implemented, they finally did stick, and it feels awesome. For the first time ever since launch, it feels awesome to play the game. So if you have the power to push CT15 and do the camp plant, or maybe if you have enough time to run that boomtown under 6 minutes, it's gonna be the best way to get legendary drops. Here are some of the examples, by the way, of me running some of these. As you can see, they constantly drop a ton of legendaries. Even Boomtown, that was previously pretty lackluster despite the fact that it was on a low timer, but despite that I would not get legendaries all the time. Every like third run or so I would get it. In the new update I'm getting it constantly in every single run, and in many of them I'm getting 2, I'm getting 3, and it just feels so awesome. Now the next piece of advice that I have for you guys, and a legendary farming method that worked for me amazingly well to get finally this headpiece right here that I've been missing for my set. Yeah, it's called the Goggles of the Edge of Time. I've been hunting for this and gave up for it. Well, I finally got it from Noah. Now you remember him, he is basically that monster hunting NPC that gives you those 10 hunts that you need to complete, and if you give them all to him, he's going to reward you a legendary every single time. Well, let's talk about a really cool method that you can use to constantly farm this without having to kill those monsters once more. So basically all you have to do is just finish all of these 10 and go back to him and just give them in. Once you've done all of that, do not exit his menu screen and also do not reset his quest. What you will need to do is to go over and check his inventory, so you will want to pick the option that mentions what are you selling. Once you enter this screen, just press E or just go into the sales tab, and this is going to already show you all of your inventory and pretty much whatever new item he gave you. Now if the item that you got is not what you desire, or if it's just a duplicate, from this screen right here, without exiting it, just press Alt F4 to exit the application, and once you restart again, you're gonna be able to give in the quests again and repeat the same process until you get the legendary that you need. This also brings me to the next important point on the list, which is the fact that he now has fully extended his inventory to give you access to legendaries that he would not give in the previous updates. Like for example, you can get pretty much the full Yugaki set if you want to. In one of these shots I got his boots, for example. I also got the Edge of Time, a few pieces from it as well, including the headpiece. I'm pretty sure you can also get the Yugaki cowl. I've seen a number of players already getting it from Noah, and there's a ton of other stuff in there in terms of armors that you can get that he previously wouldn't give at all. On top of that, he also seems to give access to non-class specific headgear pieces. Like for example, if you want to go for the stare into the barrel, this is going to be one of the best items in the game with the Tanner's hat. Also the Sergio's Barret, I have never seen this as a drop from him. It's also something that you can get, and this is an amazing one to get for something like a Tracer, or simply for the Sharp Eye tier 3 mod, which is God tier and is going to elevate your build to the next level. The only other change left is for the scripted boss loot, specifically the two main story bosses called the Chrysaloid and the Yagak towards the end. Now these I would not say are worth it even in the new update, because you can only get a scripted legendary drop from them one time, which is essentially during the story, the main story, when you first defeat them, and that's pretty much it. So unless you have a friend that is willing to boost you in multiplayer so that you can reach those points faster and then farm for those specific pieces faster with that certain character, yeah, I wouldn't say that this is even remotely worth it, especially since it only opens up to non-class specific legendary helmets that I just showed you that you can get from Noah anyway. And yeah, this is pretty much it with the new update. Now I've been testing the multiplayer as well. It is getting there, it's not yet perfect, and there's still like lag issues, but at the very least I'm not getting connection drops. It is super easy to matchmake with people, it's super awesome to play with them, and for the first time ever since the game's launch, I'm not having major issues with it, especially those that would crash the entire game and maybe sometimes even the entire system. So yeah, maybe go ahead, give it a try, let me know what you think about it. It definitely feels way better than ever before, and especially if you already put up with the mess that it was a few weeks ago, maybe it is warranted to maybe now give it a chance, and who knows, you might even have a bit of fun in it in the meantime. This is it, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.